He actually is going to Antigonus. To the bottom left-hand side, our blue Protoss is Art, who says, "My eyes," immediately. And to the top right-hand side, the red Protoss player is Hellraiser. Okay then, so next game of today's action. Do let me know how you all do in the chat. Let me know if you're cheering on anyone in particular. I know a lot of you are very excited to see TLO games, guys. I know that a lot of you want to see some TLO. He will have all of his matches streamed. It's just actually they're the last matches that we started cast. In a couple of series time we have TLO. Again, after this will be Hellraiser Acheron. Then we will have TLO versus Stefano, his first matchup. And then we're going to have a bunch of TLO game after game after game. So he is coming. They're just all going to be played in a row rather than being a bit more spread out like some of the other players here today. Automaton is the best looking in my opinion, says Andy Man. Love the tile set. I think all these maps look pretty awesome as Hellraiser steals a gas to start. Now, this is an interesting map in Antigonus because it is a map with an in-base natural, which means in PvP you can actually get away with doing some crazier builds. I mean, immediately Hellraiser alone will not go for double gateway. He will fully wall off as well, and there's two things you can do from this. You can either still go into an expansion, or you can take some very fast tech and kind of go from there. He has got a probe on the map, but if Art walls this in, then actually that probe will be in some trouble. Art already seen him taking the second gas on his low ground, realizing obviously that he's not going to be allowed this other gas, and we will see a second gate from him. If the Nexus first, he is going to be setting up for that second gate, just knowing he needs to make sure he's going to be able to get enough units here against certain builds of his opponent. So this probe just being chased around currently. Art just looking to try and catch up with Hellraiser. Dulls with the 16-month resub says 8 months, only twice. Wardy Riffcatter. In hero mode getting used well today. Love it, guys. Thanks so much, Duddles, for the 8-month resub times 2. 16 months we've had to put up with you. Isn't that insane? It's a long time. Blackshort with the 5,000 bits says, "Duh, no hero, just enjoying your stream as always. Hashtag so much passion, dude." Thank you so much for the 5,000 bits, dude. You're still a hero in my heart. Without people like you, the stream wouldn't be here at all, so thank you so much. Get some love in the chat from Blackshort, 5,000 bits. Essentially a $50 donation on top of the $30 he's already dropped today. Thank you so much, Blackshort. Well, legend. Well, let's talk a little bit about these openers, obviously, because now it is starting to be established. 2 Stalkers on the way out of these gateways. There's already 2 up, so you actually will have a pretty good defense against this Stargate. Hellraiser expanding pretty quick behind this as well. Needs that extra power to finish up here so that the next Oracle can start to come out as well also now. So you are going to see the second Oracle coming through, and again, a couple of Stalkers currently just making their way through this Assimilator. So, Assimilator taking some damage, and these 4 Stalkers, because you don't want to waste too much time on it if the Oracle shows up, and the shield barrier is just a second or two too late. 7 workers killed. Art losing a lot of his initial advantage here. So Hellraiser finds the damage he perhaps needs to be able to kind of catch up from that very early expansion of his opponent. Stargate, second Stargate coming down from Hellraiser after he sees that it's a Stargate from his opponent.
They're attacking our base.
Funky in control. They're attacking our base. For a second Stargate from Art scene here. He's going to start hiding Phoenix, but Hellraiser is just a step ahead. Double Stargate already means his Phoenix count is going to go crazy. Now as 2 Oracles fly in, more damage will be done, and Hellraiser currently is actually dealing, or taking a whole bunch, or dealing, sorry, he is dealing a whole bunch of damage. Oracle will die to this Phoenix obviously eventually, but now Hellraiser has a worker lead, and he's already ahead when it comes to the, Phoenix numbers. I mean, I actually don't know what you do as Art right now. Like, I look at this and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know when I look at this, because I just don't really see. I don't have an answer actually. I really honestly don't. Well, we do see a few of these Phoenixes just gathering up still, and we do have this Phoenix of Art just going to continue down towards the lower left-hand side. Some Stalkers just so grabbed here, and Just unpowers his gates for a moment as we'll see Art moving onto the map. It looks though he's going to kind of give up on Phoenix production. And obviously I don't really blame him. He hasn't seen much, but giving up is definitely the better idea at the moment. Now moving forwards, these Phoenix are going to be greeted by a lot of Stalkers, but they don't have upgrades or anything. Starts up a Twilight Council now. Obviously Art seeing these Phoenix will start to get a couple of shots off. Void will start from Hellraiser, realizing he's going to have to do something to help defend here. Those Phoenix still just moving around, maybe trying to grab a little bit more damage or catch a Warp Prism moving around the side of the map, shut it down before it even gets to really kind of start harassing. Pylon on this low ground, so Art's definitely looking to kind of sit here as we see a plethora of shield batteries being thrown down, and it's actually almost a ridiculous number of shield batteries. Void will start to move forward here from Hellraiser, so he will get a chance to start pushing this away, although high ground vision gained by the probe, and ooh, you know what, that first Void Ray is, for a moment, looked as though it might have gone down. The probe will fall. Phoenix still here for some high ground vision, still not going to be easy though. Just going to be using those so he can pick his way through this gateway. There's actually no warp gate for Hellraiser. Maybe just assumed this was going in towards a, you know, this sort of situation here, and he's just going to end up playing the Roddy. Man, we've seen no warp gate twice in this tournament so far. No, it wasn't in this tournament. It was in BTSL where Harston did it, wasn't it? It was. Sorry, getting confused with all the all of those PvPs I've casted. I've actually cast a ton of PvP lately. Anyways, Phoenix will go to counterattack. This will generally, you know, work their way through the make their way through the work account, make a bit of a dent. Stalkers will recall home though, so they will have an option to at least come in and start to push this away. Phoenix continue to pick their way through the probes, and we do see the Stalkers showing up, and well, they're going to get one of those Phoenix kills at the very least. 9 workers lost. Art down in the work account again, but he has started that third Nexus just a little bit sooner. Hellraiser's really just in the first couple seconds of the production of his. Mortal End of Void Ray being built. Now Warp Gate will come up here. Hellraiser realizing this might not be the sort of game he was originally expecting, or at least not for much longer. So already putting himself in a spot where he will be able to start to deal with that. And Stalker's just sat on the side as the Robo Bay comes up from Hellraiser back in his main base. So getting that Robo Bay into play right now, and we will see these Void Rays of Hellraiser continue to come on over. That Stargate not really being active just yet or for much longer. And again, the Void Ray immortal composition. Roddy would be proud. Unfortunately, he's in Korea, so he's probably sleeping through this at the moment. A couple more High Templar warping in as Art sets himself up. Gateway off over to the right hand side here, so I'll guess this gateway going. A couple Light Templar are going to warp in aggressively. He's actually going to go for a bit of a push right now. I just don't, surely there's no way. He is getting charged, he is getting +1. You know, if the Stalker's killing the Void Rays with the possibility of obviously using the Zealots to kind of charge in and kind of deal with the Immortals because there's no ground defense here from Hellraiser. You know, I can see this somewhat working perhaps. He needs more Archons though. Obviously the Archons will help a lot as we see a sentry lifted but immediately dropped. Still too late to get the Phoenix out alive. One of them will fall. There's extra couple Archons finishing. More Zealots just warping in right now. They're going to be joining up towards the front. I think the Zealots are actually hugely important because he needs to be able to charge in towards these Immortals. Phoenix will just go across the map and kill off probes, so again keeping Art behind in economy. I mean, supplies are even, and it's a lot of power units out of Hellraiser. I just almost feel as though there's not an answer for the Zealots. 2 more High Templar, 4 more Zealots. I mean, the Disruptor obviously would work well if it can connect. He's actually now making 2 Disruptors at a time, and he already has 2 up, so that could be a good possibility. Obviously, the wall off here as well helps Hellraiser massively in that regard. The Void Ray is a bit out of position, maybe expecting some sort of elevator play to the side. You know, those first 2 Disruptors didn't do too much, and so Art will get in position here. First Disruptors are going to get blinked on now, and these Archons are going to get themselves on top of the Immortals. The Voids from the side, well, using Prismatic Alignment on the Archons isn't great because they're not armored, so they don't take extra damage. The Voids are stacked up as well, so the Archons starting to do mental amounts of damage onto those Void Rays. A Disruptor comes down the ramp to help out, and Art is still going to hang on here, but he needs to clean up these Voids. It's a major issue for him. 2 more Disruptors in production, 1 or 2 of them actually still on the high ground. the third base, though, in obviously a lot of trouble at the moment. 3 Archons still remaining. Blinking in will get a Void Ray. A Disruptor here will get a couple of Stalkers and a few more with the next Disruptor shot as well. And this Void Ray is still getting to work now. Blink forwards for another Void Ray kill. Gets it before it gets back to shield batteries. 12, 14 workers down and continuing as those Zolds are still working their way through this mineral line. Worker count only even after this, though. 2 more Disruptor shots looking to clinch those Archons and will get one of the 2. Wow, what a fight in by Art, but it hasn't quite been enough. Not just yet. Not just yet. Do you see the another Archon being introduced? Obviously, Art wants to keep up this high anti-air army. The issue is the Disruptor count's getting a bit scarier now, and you're going to have to really get some very good connections to minimize what these Disruptors can do. He blinks towards the mineral line, but I think that is just not going to work. In the end, Art had a little bit too Hellraiser had a little bit too more kind of in touch today. We're a little bit more running smoothly. Yesterday we had some delays, we had some slowdowns. It's a little bit hectic. In the start of today, it's a little hectic too, but we recovered. Top left-hand side of Stasis is our blue Protoss player, Art. And he's up against the red Protoss top right-hand side, Hellraiser from Wolf's Lair. 900 of you tuning in right now. Great to have you all with me. Do say hello. Do let me know who you're cheering for. Let me know which of these maps you're enjoying. Let me know if there's any in particular which you're like, oh yeah, this one was cool, or I thought that was pretty awesome, for example. Let me know. I want to hear from you guys. Getting ourselves into this game. Hellraiser and Art obviously probably going back towards the 2-gate apiece setup now, because we do want to go in towards that 2-gateway playstyle, and it's just the kind of way you go on PvP. We didn't see it last game because there was an in-base expansion. Without an in-base, it just isn't really possible. It's not something you can get going. When is the TLO match coming, is what the famous Toast asks in slightly more aggressive terms. In 2 matches time. So after this match, there's 1 more match. Then we will have TLO versus Stefano. First TLO matchup of the day. It's coming. Chill out. Don't worry. It's going to be alright. You'll still see TLO. Just hang in there. Probe heading on over to the left-hand side. We'll want to be popping up in towards this main over the next couple of moments. And just having a little bit of a peek around to see what is going on, of course. Probe popping up here, and again, just checking around the main base, seeing what's happening. Why is the match order different from the Team Liquid table? Because after we originally announced a match order, after our first day or 2 of these matches, we realized that it was probably better to play 2 or 3 matches at the same time and to cast the matches played at the same time from replays, and that's why the match order is slightly different. We usually do try and be as accurate as possible. We usually do try that, but for this format, it just doesn't work, and there's just changes that have been happening. It's just slightly different. I'm sorry, guys. Things did just get changed up a little bit compared to what we were expecting. Robo facility on the way up here from Art as he gets this about halfway done. It is a scout from Hellraiser. Little pylon next to the Robo. He would like to know if it's cancelled or not. That's generally why you build this pylon, because knowing that the tech's actually being completed makes it so that you are responding correctly without any mind games being at play. Because what if he cancels the Robo and makes a Twilight and a Dark Shrine? You know, it'd be really nice if he knew that. So it kind of, you know, it means that if you do want to cancel it, it at least forces it to stay alive a lot longer here. So we'll just see the Robo committed to. Art will throw down a Stargate as well, though. So he has got his own Stargate coming up. And Hellraiser also has a Stargate down. He's going to Oracle first. Let's see if Art starts to make a Phoenix, then this Oracle will get chased down and will get shut down as we get this set up. So yeah, interesting little dynamic, the Robo into Stargate, not the regular way to go about things. Obviously both players still 1 base at the moment. Oracle pops, starts to head on over to the left side of the map. We'll get hit by this air blocker. A fairly friendly air blocker, at least, where the Oracle will at least be able to get nudged around, even without the player paying too much attention. And this next is going to be thrown down too. I haven't seen much of this map in terms of the bottom side of it. A lot of it's been about the top left, the top right. These extra bases, there's a gold base in the center running down the left side. There's a lot of bases for you to expand into. Depth's in the main base actually getting some damage done. That's frustrating. One more Depth still heal. Actually get one more kill. That should be all, though. Even lifts it. And the first Oracle did get away alive. But 5 kills, not bad start for Hellraiser. He was playing with that slightly slower Nexus, although only by a single probe or 2 of build time. So it's not that far off.
Oracle is going to be
From Hellraiser, continuing down towards the bottom right-hand side as well. Just going to be pulling away to hide into the corner a little bit and seeing where he wants to go. This map looks insanely good. Yeah, I think this map's really cool. I love this tile set, like the orange and white tile set. I think orange and white is a really cool color scheme. It's pretty awesome. Orange, white, and black. Like, yeah, I love the color scheme of this one. Fleet Beacon here from Art. He's probably expecting this to turn into a Phoenix War battle. So by getting a Fleet Beacon already, he will allow himself to go in towards the Anion Pulse Crystals very quickly. Not going to be the case though. Hellraiser's looking to attack aggressively in. His gateway unit's already pushing across the map, setting up a pylon. And as he sets up the pylon, he is going to be able to start pushing in towards the natural expansion and look to try and see if he can get some damage done. A few probes will just pull away from this natural expansion. Phoenix are going to have to be used defensively here as we do see these units pushing up. No pylon low ground. So what do you do? I mean, actually, probes are pulling away from the main base Oracle, which will recall home, so that I can stay alive. Huh. Phoenix obviously looking for it, realizes it's been recalled. Hellraiser just has so many units, and obviously if he kills this Nexus, Art is in some trouble. Here we go. Phoenix going to fly on in. He will hold the Phoenix advantage starting the fight, but he loses 1 for 1 so far. Now he loses 2. Very quickly. Now he has to use these Phoenix to lift up units, but they're so low that Stalkers should just be able to shoot them down. Target fire is there as the Stalkers are starting to do this, and Hellraiser just has a little bit too much. Game is called. Hellraiser will take the second game.